Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jason with Drive to Win 13. In this video, I'm going to talk to you specifically about Turo. If you're not familiar with Turo or you're just looking to get into Turo and running it as a business, the number one thing I recommend doing is go on Turo and rent somebody's car. That will tell you a lot about what you liked about the host and what you did not like about the host. And it allows you to change your game appropriately. So if the host did something really unique and really cool, you might adopt that into your business. Now, when you're first starting a Turo business, it is extremely important that you have the right vehicle, okay? Not every area is going to want Corvettes. Not every area is going to want 4Runners or Jeeps, right? So go on Turo and kind of see what is on there. See what has a ton of trips. If there's a vehicle in an area and it has a lot of trips, then you know that that vehicle rents pretty well. You can also gauge the rough price point in which you need to set for your vehicle. When I started my Turo business, I was in Arizona, and I noticed that there was a specific car that rented pretty well in that area, and that was a Chrysler 300S. And so I decided to go ahead and purchase one. I went and found one. I actually found one out of state. I paid about $30,000 for it. I got my rough numbers for exactly what my costs on that car were. And it was about right at $500 per month. So I knew that I needed to create an income off that car that at least was $500 per month, just to break even, right? I know that I'm building the business and I know that it's going to take some time. So $500 a month right now is all I was looking for. Just wanted to break even. Okay. If I got anything better, great. Now, you're going to want to create an account. This is again to effectively run a Turo business. You're going to want to create an account in a bank account, totally separate from anything that you have. Okay. All of your income goes into that account and all of your expenditures for that vehicle comes out of that account. And you do not touch that. That money is not for paying bills. It's not for going on vacation, nothing. It is only for your Turo business. When I first started, I knew that I had to get my $500 per month. So that was my goal, $500 a month. Just wanted to break even. At the end of the first month, I had $850 in which I left in the account. I made my payments, I paid my insurance, and bam, I left the other $300 in the account. The second month, I did about $1,100. So now I have a pretty good chunk of money. What I decided to do was make 2 payments on the car. Now I am a month ahead on that car. In the third month, I did roughly $800 or $900. Okay, now I made a couple more payments. Now I'm 3 or 4 months ahead in my car payments. Again, don't touch any of that money. I upgraded a few things in the car that I wanted. Number one is I got some really good kind of a luxury floor mats, if you will. They make the car look really good and it's much easier to clean. Spent a couple $100 to do that. I tinted the windows, blacked out some stuff on the car, and I made it very, very desirable. So after about 6 months' time, I'm now 8 or 9 months ahead on my payments. Now it's time to start adding another vehicle. I know I have 8 or 9 months time frame that I don't have to make any payments on this car. Okay. And the money that I do get from Turo can dump into the second car. So I added another car. I've moved across the country. Now I'm in Florida. What is a car that would be good in Florida? Jeeps are very popular. Camaros are very popular. And now I found out 300Ss are very popular. But I knew that I wanted to add a vehicle that would be very attractive to people coming into town. Okay. Vacationers, family, going to Disney, whatever. So I started doing research, and again, I stayed within Chrysler, and I got a Chrysler Pacifica limited S model as well. And it had some very unique features that I really liked. Number one, all automatic doors, and it had a DVD player, drop-down DVD player. Now, didn't know how I was going to do it. The cost on this car was about $600 per month. So now I was like, okay, I have to make sure that I am able to cover both car payments. But I have that 9-month buffer, right? So what I did was I took the money from my Turo car number 1 and I dumped it into Turo car number 2, okay? And it basically enabled me to test the theory on the new vehicle, okay? So now I have 2 cars on there. Well, as it turns out, everybody loves the Pacifica, right? So I went ahead and got that car. Now I'm doing about $2,000 to $2,500 per month on the 2 cars combined. My cost is right at $1,100 per month. So I'm basically doubling up every month. Now, what I'm going to continue to do is the exact same thing. I do not touch any of that money. It stays right in that account. I never take money out of it. I don't take it on vacation. I don't go out to eat. I only dump the money back into my Turo business. Complete side hustle. And I will continue to do that until I have it built up quite a bit more. Now, the other thing that you have to consider when you're trying to get into this is how much money you want to spend in a car. Currently, right now, I have about $70,000 into these cars, right? That's a pretty big investment. You may want to start with something smaller. It just depends on the clientele that you are trying to get. I was going for families and people who were willing to spend $70, $80, $100 a day in a car. You may want to start off with something much smaller to where you're only doing $30 a day. The reason that I did not do that was because if you go to Hertz or you go to Dollar or any of the other car rental services, you can get one of those cheap cars, a Kia, a Versa, a Toyota Corolla. Those are the cars that they rent out. I wanted to make my cars unique. I wanted to make them something, an experience for people. Much like Airbnb is an experience for their customers, not just a normal hotel, I wanted to do the same thing. But depending upon your financial situation, your credit rating, your ability to buy cars, you may want to go with something cheaper. That's how I started. That's how I'm growing my business. I am also going to be adding cheaper cars to gain some of those clients as well. But I started off with 2 higher end cars that enable me to get maximum amount of profits. So if you have any questions, if you would like to talk further about Turo, certainly ask in the comments. And I regularly check the comments, and I promise, respond to all of them.